What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow, and it is Friday. And there's some huge news going on in the crypto space, but I'm not seeing a lot of the price move because of it, which is actually shocking, especially once you see what I get into. Now, you may have heard some of these things, but there's some stuff I'm going to show you probably haven't seen yet. But I want to touch base a little bit on a couple things real quick. First of all, my wife is the dancing health nut on YouTube. I'm about to upload three or four new videos from her. She's all about health, fitness, wellness, all that stuff. She should be a guru. She's not a doctor, but she's all about natural remedies and things. If you're having trouble sleeping, watch this video here. It'll fix you. Yeah, I just wanted to touch base on that. So that's Kristen Appleton. That's my wife, the dancing health nut. Protect your magic. It's actually one of the tattoos she has on her arm. Another thing, for all of you traders, make sure you check the link down below. Contract challenge trading competition up to $50,000 in bonuses for a single user. This is a really big deal. They're doing this as kind of a favor to me, and they would just kind of say, hey, I'm trying to get a particular token listed on the Fair Desk spot exchange. And, this is something that we're doing to basically just threw it at me. They're like, hey, here's something for you to promote to your followers. Hopefully people use it. They take advantage and things. I know some people have started to sign up and join and get to trading. So I appreciate that. Also, Validity. This is my Validity account, about a $427 yield so far. And man, that token price is up to 77 cents. It did come down a little bit this afternoon, but everything kind of came down over the past couple days, Ethereum, etc. But VI tokens are backed by Ethereum, so when Ethereum goes up, these VI tokens I think go up a bit as well. And so this is moving, man. I mean, I know there's another big YouTuber that I got involved with this, and he seems to be pretty happy with it as well, but I won't say who he is. He can announce that someday on his own if he wants. Now let's get into some of the big news going on, because this is important. Congress passes a bill banning Federal Reserve from creating a CBDC. This is big, but let's dive into this a little bit. The bill aims to prevent unelected officials from developing a CBDC that could infringe on Americans' financial privacy. Unelected officials. This is basically saying, well, let's just read it. The U.S. House Representatives passed H.R. 5403, the CBDC Anti-Surveillance State Act, sponsored by Majority Whip Tom Emner. We like Tom Emner. The legislation blocks the creation and issuance of a central bank digital currency without explicit congressional authorization, aiming to safeguard Americans' financial privacy. The bill aims to prevent unelected officials from developing a CBDC that could infringe on Americans' financial privacy. It specifically prohibits the Federal Reserve from offering certain products or services directly to individuals and restricts the use of CBDCs for monetary policy. Keep in mind, this is unelected officials. This doesn't mean that elected officials can't push this, and I'm sure they will, but this is at least an effort on Emner's part. Key provisions include prohibiting Federal Reserve banks from offering products or services directly to individuals, maintaining accounts on behalf of individuals, and issuing any form of CBDC without congressional approval. This type of financial surveillance has no place in the United States. This isn't a ban on CBDCs. This is just basically trying to say that they're not going to let anybody central banks for that matter. They're not elected officials. And if they're trying to push a CBDC, which of course they are, and have already launched in a couple countries, I've shown that in previous videos. But yeah, this is a big deal, but this isn't necessarily a ban. This isn't like going to save us all from the CBDCs. They're coming. I mean, I don't care what this says. They're coming in the future. Chairman of the House Financial Services Committee, Patrick McHenry, supported the bill, highlighting concerns over financial surveillance. He cited examples from other countries, such as China's use of a CBDC to monitor and control citizens' spending habits. And this is a big thing in China, obviously. So the social credit scores and the CBDCs, and how you are and what you do and what you say and all of that stuff basically affects your social credit score, which ultimately affects the money that you have available to you. He stressed the bill's importance in response to the Biden administration's push for CBDC research and development. Of course they are, which he argued could threaten financial privacy. And it's funny because if you bring up anything politically to anyone on the left and you say, hey, you know, what did Mao do when he was trying to control everybody and take his reign? Well, he got what was known as, what was it, the Red Army, which is basically a bunch of college people who were basically, just go look that up, okay, if you even care. I know people on the left will come up with arguments against it, but that's what happened. That's what happened. And if you just look up Mao's Red Army, and you'll be blown away by what happened there. And we see some of this stuff happening today, which is what makes it a little bit scary. A lot of these people, they push these things that they don't fully understand. And quite honestly, I think some of the stuff of late, if you look at some of these protests, where people are asking some of the protesters, like random protesters, like, why are you here? And then they're like, we're not supposed to talk to you. We're not allowed to talk to you. I don't think they know. I think a lot of these people are being offered money to go join protests. They don't even care what it's about. They just need ramen noodles in their dorm room. They're just really a lot of this stuff I think is fabricated to some extent, because a lot of these people don't even know what they're saying and their chants and things. But if you ask people on the left, you know, about how we're emulating a lot of the practices and things seen in China, well, of course, they're going to argue that. Why, I don't know, but we're seeing it pretty consistently over the last few years. McHenry acknowledged Emmer, I thought it was Emner, and other co-sponsors, including French Hill and Alex Mooney, for their efforts in advancing the legislation. So the bill now moves to the Senate for consideration. If passed, it will significantly limit the Federal Reserve's ability to implement a CBDC without legislative oversight, reinforcing Congress's role in major financial decisions. Keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this and who votes against it. I think that'll be very telling as to who is really wanting to tighten the reins of control on financial privacy and the like, and who wants these CBDCs, who basically supports the way things are going in China right now in our own government, and what are they doing to try and kind of bring that forward. I've said for a long, long time now, CBDCs are coming. I mean, this is, you know, people talk about global currency, global money. We all thought it was Bitcoin. Of course, it's not Bitcoin. It can't be Bitcoin. Bitcoin can be the store of value against a lot of these things for traders and things, but ultimately that's the CBDCs are coming. Don't let any of this stuff fool you. The SEC approves Ethereum ETFs, aligning Ethereum closer to commodity, an industry win. This is a landmark situation here, folks. Ethereum's commodity classification gains ground with SEC's landmark ETF approval, boosting investor interest. Now, there's some caveats to this, though. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has approved the first spot Ethereum exchange-traded funds, marking a significant milestone for the crypto industry. The decision announced today allows asset managers such as Grayscale, Fidelity, and Bitwise to launch ETFs that directly track the price of Ethereum. Ethereum rose 2% on the news and was trading at 3,900 as of press time based on crypto slate data. You know what? This is bullshit. It rose a hell of a lot more than 2%. It had already risen from like $3,000 or 3,100 to like 3,700 when the rumor of this came out. That's why they say you buy the rumor, sell the news. That's why the prices have been moving that significantly since then, because people are selling it, and it'll ultimately flow into normal market price action, which I'm going to show you here in a bit. The approval follows a rigorous application process. Of course it does. But what's interesting is, as I understand it, now I don't know for a fact, but apparently Nancy Pelosi herself voted yes on, or no, wait, that's something else. That's something else I'm going to show you. Okay, never mind that. Hold on. So the SEC's decision comes after a period of uncertainty and skepticism among market analysts. Bloomberg analyst Eric Balchunas had previously estimated a 25% chance of approval by May 23rd, citing the SEC's lack of engagement compared to the Bitcoin ETF approval process, probably because you already have one and they probably knew they were going to launch another. However, the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs earlier this year, Hong Kong's ETH ETF approval and recent crypto wins in Congress had raised hopes among crypto proponents, despite the SEC's historically cautious, is that what we're calling it, cautious stance under Gary Gensler's leadership. So that's basically the bulk of it. I think there are going to be a lot more spot ETFs to come. And, some people I'm seeing, of course, they want to throw this in and they want to say, oh, well, Ethereum got approved for now. It's Solana's turn, right? If I saw a Solana ETF, and I know that some douche on CNBC, don't people counter trade CNBC and have for years? But anyway, they had somebody on there saying that maybe Solana's next in line. And I'm thinking, okay, well, we're going to look at some things here that may thwart that suggestion. But looking at Cardano's price against USD right now, this is basically, it's still following this trend line. I mean, it's bounced off of this trend line, I've had this established for quite a while. And it's been holding it. Now, on a 4-hour candle, though, we did come and close lower than the 200 moving average, which is not necessarily a good thing, but it is still maintaining this trend line. And on a 4-hour chart, it is reversing. And here we are Thursday. When I woke up this morning, I saw that basically everything was dumping this morning. And I didn't realize it was Thursday. And I'm used to seeing this stuff. I'm used to seeing whatever happens on Monday happen in reverse on Wednesday. And so I thought it was Wednesday. And no, my wife was like, no, today's Thursday. I was up $5,000 on this trade, but I held on to it because my entry point was low enough that I'm like, why get out of it? If I could have taken $5,000 profit and, hoped the price dropped and then got back in. I probably should have if I were actively trading, but unfortunately I'm not. But this is my Fair Desk account. And, overall it's still doing very well. And I think we may recover from this and move forward again. And maybe we break above the $72,000 mark here in the not so distant future. I definitely expect to see that in June. So I'm just waiting to see what transpires between now and the end of this month. And, we'll see. Right now, this has been down by almost $10,000, I think, at one point. I can't remember. But it was down by almost $10,000, and I just held on to it. I'm like, it'll go back up. I'm not going to sweat it. Now, this is interesting. The Crypto Bro on Twitter. Boy, I am loving Twitter more and more every day. Now, for whatever reason, I can't break 55,000 followers on Twitter, but it is what it is. But I'm really loving what a lot of people are posting. And I really need to structure this all out to try and get the most relevant news, because I think, honestly, Twitter has become like my go-to for like up-to-date news on what's going on in the world and the markets. But this is a post that I'm going to read, and I'm going to share what's below, and we're going to dive a little deeper into it. So Cardano fam, with FIT 21 passing, what is the most significant thing in it? FIT 21, as I understand it, was actually voted for by Nancy Pelosi herself. So now all the jokes are basically saying, we've got the most profitable trader in U.S. history who voted to pass this. She's obviously got some big crypto, Ethereum, Cardano bags, like whatever, right? I threw the Cardano bit in there, but everybody thinks she's holding on to at least Bitcoin. I'll tell you, it's the minimum requirement for a crypto to be considered a commodity versus a security. This is going to be huge. No single entity or affiliated person will control more than 20% of supply. What does this mean? It means decentralization and community governance, the narrative of the cycle. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what this basically is breaking down is that projects like Cardano are where it's at. And we're going to dive deeper into this. This is Cardano's narrative. Love the crypto underdog. Unexpected always turns out to be the most significant thing to occur. Isn't that the truth? This is a glory day for us Cardano holders, and for anybody that has believed in Cardano and followed it since inception in 2017. Shown here, reported to House on 5/6/2024, Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act. This bill establishes a regulatory framework for digital assets. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission must regulate a digital asset as a commodity if the blockchain or digital ledger on which it runs is functional and decentralized. The bill classifies a blockchain as decentralized if, among other requirements, no person has unilateral authority to control the blockchain or its usage, and no issuer or affiliated person has control of 20% or more of the digital asset or the voting power of the digital asset. Now you might be thinking, so what cryptocurrencies would fall safe under this? Let's take a look. This Cardano at launch already meets the requirements. Some other popular protocols may have some major obstacles to overcome. So you see Ethereum looks pretty safe, 12%. Cardano, only 17%, 3% under the bar for that. Binance, on the other hand, a whopping 50%, controlled by its founders and basically all those people. Solana, 48%, right up there with Binance, baby. But Solana number go up, so I hope you guys do well with this in the future. But 48% controlled by a very select few people. Polkadot, 33%. That's not so great. And basically pink is represented by insiders. Okay. Gray is represented by foundations and more. You can see on Solana, this is huge, man. This is over half by the foundations, tokens allocated to foundations, community governed grant pools, or other incentives like testnet, participation rewards, etc. So between insiders and foundations, Solana's at like what, 53%? Let me do simple maths. 51%. So that's not good. Polkadot, that's really not that good either. Terra, 56%. Avalanche, 42%. Cosmos just over the mark, with 22% to insiders. Tezos at 10%. EOS was at 10%. I really do need to do some, I wouldn't mind doing some follow-up research on EOS and what happened there. Like why, I remember Mike Novogratz was a huge EOS bull, bought in huge. I don't remember how much he got into it for, but it was quite a bit. Phantom at 53%, CeeLo at 44%, Flow at 58%, Near Protocol at 38%, Internet Computer at 39%. This is off of Messari, folks. So this is very interesting. Of all of these blockchains, Ethereum and Cardano are the only two. And EOS. Is that a true statement? Yeah. I mean, Ethereum and Tezos maybe. It would be right at the mark at 20% total. So yeah, man, I mean, this this says it all right there. AVAX not looking good. Insane how much Solana insiders hold. What happens when they finally start selling? Yeah, well, I agree. Cardano has less than 20%. So that is a very big deal. And if we look deeper, we'll see some of the jokes. There's some other stuff in here of pre-seed tokens like VCs, not tokens on an exchange or the secondary market. I would like to know whether Lido is counted as a single entity controlling the system. That's on Ethereum, I guess. So, and then there's a comment about Apex Fusion. Honestly, this might be good feedback for Apex Fusion. I like those guys and think they are on the right track. However, no matter how much the green or red slices are denominated into smaller slices, the core control of 27% very questionably sits within the same entity. I'm going to hazard a guess and say that based off of these new foundings and this new bill and all of this stuff changing, they haven't even launched. So I would have to assume that they're going to make changes necessary to abide by these new, clearer kind of guidelines for what's what. It would only make sense. So all you paper hands out there, stop selling and hodl, please. I mean, this is just a big deal. And it's yet another, it's just another verification of how Cardano has been building itself to stand the test of time. And that's really it. I mean, there's so much more coming. When Voltaire officially launches and Cardano, the situation with the Genesis keys and all of that stuff goes right out the window, and it is truly a self-governing body, basically governed by its community of holders. That is going to be a flagship day, unlike I think any other day since Cardano's inception. And I absolutely can't wait for it. So just a quick recap, make sure you join Fair Desk. If you're a trader and you like trading, I would definitely not recommend doing any more than 3x leverage, even 2x. Like if you just want to trade a little bit and get the swing of things and kind of learn how things are done, that I basically trade primarily at 3x leverage just so that I got a little meat, but my liquidation prices are so low that I'm not often scared out of trades, because that could play a big deal, especially in a bull market. I don't want to get scared out of a trade because I think I might get liquidated. Yeah, check that out. If you support my channel, this definitely is going to be a lot of support to me and Fair Desk, who honestly, they've been trying to do a lot of things to try and help me out, and I really do appreciate them. So make sure you check them out. And yeah, folks, I don't know. We'll see what happens here by the end of this week, and honestly by the end of this month. And then in the meantime, especially for the weekend, my wife only has 158 subscribers. Maybe you help her out a little bit. Click the links down below, subscribe to her channel. I think you're gonna, especially if you're older. I mean, look at this woman. She's 40. She looks like she's 28, 30. I mean, she looks way younger. Absolutely incredibly fit. I mean, I'm a lucky guy. What can I say? But if you want to learn how she does all that, you're going to watch her channel and you'll learn a hell of a lot about your health, your well-being, mental health, all kinds of stuff. Okay. She gets pretty deep in a lot of these things, and I know she's going to be getting a lot deeper. And I think that her channel is ultimately going to help a lot of people dealing with a lot of things. And so yeah, maybe show her some love if you don't mind. And until next time, guys and gals, thanks for joining me. I am the Crypto Crow, and until next time, crow your coins, and I'll see you again soon.